Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the GeekWave. This is the low budget show. It's the show so low it has no budget. And we're back once again talking about a big event that happened over the weekend. The last episode was all about Comic-Con. Guess what? Comic-Con was pretty cool. Well, Disney can't let Comic-Con have all the fun, so they said, what if we had our own convention called D23, where all your favorite Disney stuff happens under one roof? We are primarily going to talk about the entertainment side. That was a dumb thing to say. It's all entertainment. We're going to be talking about like the film and television side. Because we could talk the parks. There was some parks announcement, but I don't know enough about the history of the parks to really get into that. You know, they're like, we're going to do like a villain's land. That's kind of cool, I guess. Avatar Land is coming to California Adventure, I think. I don't know. There's people who are more versed in that than me that are going to talk about that stuff better than I ever will. But before we get to the D23 news that involves, the movies and the television and everything, there was a little bit of news that came out today. Just kind of people having conversations about stuff that could be happening. So let's run through that pretty quick. First off, James Cameron kind of said he might make a Terminator thing. He's like, I'm keeping it close to the vest, but you never know. That leads me to think he wrote a script, and he's like, I'm going to give this to somebody. I got to go make Avatar 5, which is really cool. We'll come back to Avatar in a minute here. But James Cameron back at Terminator, that's exactly what Terminator needs, is a guy who knows how to make Terminator look good. Arguably the only guy to make a good Terminator movie. Arguably. Has it ever happened since? Not really. So that's exciting. Animated Ghostbusters project coming to Netflix. If that interests you, it'll interest you. That's pretty cool. On the topic of Ghostbusters, because it has Jason Reitman involved and Dan Aykroyd involved, we got a trailer for Saturday Night, the new SNL movie about the first episode to air live. I really liked the trailer. Very hesitant about this project still. I think it could go either way of being like, oh, this is exactly what we needed to see from this franchise, or it could kind of just fall flat and become nothing. Personally, I do hope it becomes something interesting, because it could be really fun. I'd love it to be good. I would love it to be good. I think they're doing something interesting with Chevy Chase being like, is it Chad Michael Murray or something that's playing him? He looks the part. So that's cool. I just think it's going to be a little too sanitized where it's like, well, these people are probably all strung out on cocaine and we're not getting the vibe that they're on cocaine. Gabriel LaBelle looks freaking incredible. It's amazing that so early into his career, he has played both Steven Spielberg and Lorne Michaels. That's insane. He's not even 25 and he's played Steven Spielberg and Lorne Michaels. That's crazy. Like, that's talent. That is a generational talent. So that looks really cool. And what I think is the most interesting piece of news, James Wan is in early talks to adapt and direct the reboot of Creature from the Black Lagoon, one of my favorite characters in all of fiction. I love the Creature. I love James Wan. I guess he's got like that taste for Aquaman in his mouth, wanting to make some weird aquatic creatures. Very exciting. I hope this is real. I hope it comes to fruition. Be very exciting to see what that could look like. Probably good. It's probably going to be good. If I ever make it in Hollywood, oh my goodness, the first thing I want to remake is Forbidden Planet. Because it's such a stupid idea. Imagine doing Forbidden Planet today. That'd be awesome. Creature makes sense because it is one of those classic monsters. We've been doing Draculas forever. We've been doing mummies forever. Why not try the Creature again? We had a great Invisible Man movie. Let's do it. We got Nosferatu coming out this year. We have a Wolfman movie coming out early next year. So 2026, if this is happening, 2027, let's do Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm for that. That's all like the normal news we have. The rest of it's kind of D23 related. So let's just hop into it, okay? D23, it's a Disney episode. If you are a fan of Disney, this all is going to mean something to you. Or it's not going to mean anything to you. Now, here's what's really interesting. They had a big show, and I think of everything that they talked about, there was like only a couple original ideas that don't exist from an already existing IP or aren't a part of a cinematic universe, or aren't a sequel. There was two in particular that came to my mind. They're both Pixar. I mean, we'll get to it in a minute here. But I'm just kind of going to go in order of like the reveals that they talked about, or just like what I put in my list as it was happening. So, first thing we have to talk about, before the entire event even starts, Disney announces that the price for Disney Plus is going to increase. So keep in mind, you can be excited for everything we're going to be talking about today, because I know you are. You gotta be. Inside Out 2 is like one of the 10 highest grossing films of all time, and Deadpool and Wolverine is not too far behind. What am I talking about? Oh yeah, more money for Disney Plus. We're gonna see the end of streaming. It's not sustainable anymore. Like, I don't think any of these companies are really making money. I don't know who would get Disney Plus now that doesn't already have it. That's the thing. And they want to try like a thing where they just have like continuous networks running, where they just play television, or like this channel's for Marvel movies, this channel's for Star Wars. Like, you just want to make TV again. You just want to make TV. Go back to TV. You own ABC. Use it. Do something with it. Insane. So expect to pay more money for Disney Plus coming soon. Next thing we saw, or the first thing I saw, the next thing we're talking about, we got some set photos from the Wizards of Waverly Place sequel. Looks like any of these sequels, what was the Raven's Home? That was the one that happened. Frasier happened. It looks like any of these. There was nothing special about it. I don't imagine it's going to be good, but there's nostalgia for that now. I'm still so bummed that we didn't get the Lizzie McGuire one. What happened? What was that Lizzie McGuire plot that we couldn't make the Lizzie McGuire one? I still don't understand that. Like, I feel it had to be insane, right? It had to be something crazy. Because what else? What else would it be? I don't know. Like, we're doing Freaky Friday again. Freakier Friday, I think is what it's called. We saw footage of that. That was later on, but like, we're doing Freaky Friday, right? Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, but we couldn't get the Hilary Duff show off the ground. I don't understand that. Why did that happen? It's very bizarre to me, and it makes me so angry. To no end. To no end does it infuriate me. Why are these things happening? Why did this happen? I'm talking about something that had no announcement at D23 because I care about it. That's probably going to be something I will think about when I die, is like, we couldn't do Lizzie McGuire again. Okay, the next thing, Moana 2, The Rock came out and he's like, I'm doing a Monster Trucks movie. And we're all like, are you? Monster Jam? Why are you doing that, dude? That sounds bad. Didn't we have a Monster Trucks movie? Whatever. I guess you're going to be Gravedigger or something, like an actual one. Not the movie where there was monsters in a truck, right? Do you remember that movie? I remember that movie. So Moana 2 got a trailer. It's like, what if we actually made a movie for cinemas and made a lot of money? I think this movie's going to do fantastically in theaters. I don't care about it at all. I don't care about The Rock's career. So there's Moana and Monster Truck Jam, whatever talk. More stuff coming from that. IPs for The Rock to play with, because he finished making The Smashing Machine. Time to go back to big franchise money. Get your Oscar for The Smashing Machine, and then pull a Robert Downey Jr. and return to Black Adam. But now in the DC universe, you could play Darkseid. Oh, that'd be so funny. Oh, I would love that. If there's like a betting site where you could bet like on someone's career, I would put at least $10 on The Rock wins an Oscar for The Smashing Machine, comes back to do a DCU movie, and he's Darkseid. That'd be hilarious. Moving on from there, James Cameron took to the stage to be like, hey, it's not called The Seed Bearer. It's actually going to be called Avatar Fire and Ash, which is a fantastic title. We're going to meet the Fire Na'vi, who like worship a volcano or something. Yep, you got me. I'm all in. I will watch anything Avatar related. This is fantastic. It's really cool. I cannot wait to see what this is going to be. Next year, this movie's coming out next year. We live in an era where we got an Avatar movie coming out really soon. It's good to get hyped again. He won me over. I was very skeptical, I should say, about The Way of Water. Was that going to work? It did. It freaking worked and then some. Okay? I'm all in. Fire and ash. That's awesome. We did like the air tribe in the first movie. We did the water tribe. Now it's the fire tribe. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. And then by the time I guess not by the time this movie comes out, I can go to like California and then I could go to like the Avatar land. That's really exciting. I think that's cool. Anyways, if you want to like kill your hype a little bit for stuff, let's talk about the Pixar panel. Pixar, the only company to announce original projects. They showed off some footage for Win or Lose, which is their original series that is coming straight to Disney Plus, where it's like a baseball game and it's from a different perspective of each kid. Very fun. I think that's going to be really cool. And then we got some more stuff for Elio. Elio, he's the young kid. The movie's supposed to come out this year. They pushed it back to 2025. The young kid who gets like sent to space because people think he's the ambassador of Earth. Looks incredibly fun. Like, I love that so much. An original idea. How exciting. And then they announced their next original idea, which is a movie called Hoppers. And Hoppers follows this young girl whose brain gets put into a robot beaver and she learns how to live amongst the beavers. Oh, that's fun. That is stupid. I love it. What a crazy idea. It feels very like Cartoon Network-y for some reason, and I think that's because we're getting like some talent pulled from there because Warner Bros. Discovery is like fucking everything up over there. So that's awesome. Like the only original stories, ideas came from Pixar. And they were like, you want some TV, you want some space stuff, what about a robot beaver girl? And John Hamm's going to play like a mayor who hates animals. He's like, we got to tear down this beaver's wall. Okay, man, let's see what you got. That's exciting to me. I'm glad they announced that. We'll see if it actually happens. I'm always worried about Pixar because I feel they're going to be trapped in specific locations where we're going to get a lot of bad sequels. Inside Out 2 made a lot of money. Expect a sequel to that. They didn't say that, but it's getting the spin-off show on Disney Plus. And then they were like, well, you like Toy Story, don't you? We got Andrew Stanton coming back. He's going to direct it. Toy Story 5, what if they had to fight electronics? These kids, or these toys, I should say, the kids have grown up. These toys have been around since the 90s. And they have now lived through the rise of Discord and Reddit and iPads and TikTok. They've seen it all. So now, what does it mean they're going to go against technology and electronics? What does that mean? Are they going to have to fight a rogue AI called the Entity? I don't understand what that means. What could that look like? It's very specific and very bizarre. So Toy Story 5, is that next year or 2020? I think it's 2026 actually. So that's going to ruin my life. I don't care about that at all. But it's happening, and we have to live with the fact that it's happening. So get used to it, folks. Because none of you said anything good about Elemental, a really fun movie. Nobody talks about Turning Red. You gotta watch Toy Story 5. And then you gotta, if you think Andrew Stanton's trapped, think about Brad Bird for a minute, because Brad Bird is developing, we don't know at what capacity, The Incredibles 3. Seemed like an inevitability, which is a shame. I like Brad Bird a lot. He's a really good animation director, and I think even a live-action director. He's really fun. I want to see him do something else, though. I really don't want him to feel trapped in The Incredibles. Like, I know he has original ideas he wants to develop, and just being... I know he's not probably forced to make Incredibles 3, but just knowing, like, even if he makes this one, do you think they're finally going to let him make Ray Gun? Do you think he's finally going to get to do something else? I don't know. He should have made Fantastic Four. That would have been sick. that's the Pixar stuff. So they kind of just say, we got an original movie about a beaver, but also don't forget Toy Story 5, Inside Out 2 did great, and Incredibles 3. There you go. And then Disney was like, well, we got sequels too in animation. You want to see Zootopia 2? What if there was a snake this time? And the footage was fine. I really feel nothing about this. I think Zootopia is fun until you think about it too much and then it stops being interesting. But that's just me. I know people in my life who are pumped for this. Just ecstatic. This was the coolest news they heard. Like, they sent me posters like, isn't this awesome? And I'm like, I guess. I'm more excited for the robot beaver lady. That seems different. Frozen 3? Sure. Nobody saw Wish, so we're coming back to this well. Can't imagine. That's great. It's amazing, like, they haven't attempted to do, like, a new Little Mermaid or Cinderella or anything. Like, we just make those into live action, but they're not like, what if we tried to make like a new animated sequel to some of those, like not the straight to DVD ones or straight to VHS, like an actual proper animated sequel to some of those like classics. I'm amazed they haven't tried that. I guess it's just easier to make a live action movie, right? Mufasa the Lion King, I think they showed some stuff for that. I can't imagine a single person who's excited for that. I don't even think Barry Jenkins is excited for that. Bro is playing the long game. I think he's going to be able to make a really cool movie for himself after this one. We should hope so. Now, it's also important to note that this entire panel had nothing to do with 20th Century Studios, so none of that stuff was talked about. I just want to make that abundantly clear. They had an animation panel later on in the week, but none of it was about anything from 20th Century. It's all whatever. Okay, let's talk about Star Wars for a minute. They showed off some Star Wars stuff. We got an official trailer for Skeleton Crew, which is set to come out in December. And it looks like a John Watts thing. There's like a suburbia and like kids escape it and they get on a ship and they get trapped in a thing. Very 80s science fiction-y story. The Goonies, The Lost Boys, that kind of vibe. Could be fun. The practical effects look great. You know, everything about it's kind of interesting. I hope it can stick the landing. The Acolyte was really cool, a really fun idea. So I'm cautiously optimistic that this could go somewhere interesting. But who knows? It could literally be nothing, which a lot of Star Wars has been. But you'll notice the Star Wars stuff that's actually kind of interesting these days is the stuff that doesn't have Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni on it, which isn't me saying anything about those guys creatively, but it is me saying something about those guys creatively. Because we also got some stuff for Andor, and Andor is going to be pretty sick. Andor Season 1 was incredible, and The Acolyte was good, and that was Leslie Headland. So I'm just saying, I'm kind of excited. Oh, I guess, did we talk about this last week? I can't remember. That John Watts movie with George Clooney and Brad Pitt, Wolves, that's no longer getting a theatrical run. Apple is putting it straight to streaming and then giving it a sequel straight to streaming. Are you telling me in the year of 2024, George Clooney and Brad Pitt couldn't bring butts to seats in theaters? You kidding me? You kidding me? That cannot be true. That's insane. Either way, John Watts made a thing. What else we got? Andor looked incredible. We did get They showed a trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu, which is the movie coming out in 2026. Pedro Pascal's not in it. Like, I think that's obvious now. It's obvious to me, at least, he's not in it. Because they're filming it. And he's filming Fantastic Four where he's going to see his face all the time. So he'll do his voice later on. I don't care. I don't care. Like, it's really dumb to do a Mandalorian and Grogu movie because I don't think the audience will translate. This being your first movie in Star Wars to come out post Rise of Skywalker is stupid. I don't think it's going to work. I mean, it's going to look good, but what is the story? What is any of this? Who is going to care? That's the general audience because there's no way the numbers are the same for the Mandalorian seasons 1 to 3 that they are for the Rise of Skywalker. You know? I'm not going to say it's going to bomb, but I'm not expecting like anything more than 700 million or 600 million. I'm not expecting this to be like a brilliant piece that's going to change the game. I'm going to say 600. I think it's going to stop at 600, which isn't a bomb. It's just like that's not what they would be hoping for. So there you go. That was shown. Marvel had their panel. They just had their big panel at Comic-Con. So this was kind of just some other stuff, more Captain America stuff. It looked fine. We saw some early stuff going on for the Fantastic Four film. We saw a suit that Johnny Storm is going to be wearing. Looks fine. Joseph Quinn's fine. I have nothing to say about it. The TV stuff, they did show some of it. Ironheart got a look, and you're like, hey, this is still happening. That's kind of exciting. And Agatha All Along got a look. You're like, oh, hey, they made this? Okay. I mean, if you're excited, raise your hand. And then everyone in the auditorium just looked around seeing if anyone was going to raise their hand. And then Joe Locke raised his hand, and he's like, I'm playing a character called Teen. Teen. There was a poster that just said his character was called Teen. Just say it's Billy. We all know it's Billy. So stupid. I don't know why they're doing that. The big stuff, I guess, from Marvel in terms of like this panel was the Daredevil Born Again. The cast came out. John Bernthal's like, I'm Punisher. You already knew that, though. They showed a trailer. Looks good. Like, it's crazy to me how Marvel will really just do schluck or whatever and just be like, we're making an Agatha show. Who cares? But when it comes to Daredevil, they're like, we have to put time and money and effort into getting this right. We're not just going to Secret Invasion this shit. We're going to literally start from scratch. That's coming out in March. Looks good. I hope it's good. Expectations pretty low. But whatever, we'll see. And then they showed some stuff for Percy Jackson. You're like, yep, Percy Jackson's coming. Never finished it. Not my thing. Not my thing. And Snow White, Rachel Zegler, and Gal Gadot, two people that I have opinions on. I really like Rachel Zegler. I'm going to support her in everything she does. I think she's a fantastic talent. And Gal Gadot, okay, she's there. She's not good. And you could just feel who is good at this and who isn't. And the footage we saw looks like any number one. It just looks like any of the stupid Disney live action remakes. Like there's nothing special about it, except that Rachel Zegler's cool. I don't know. Why would Gal Gadot be the evil queen? What a weird choice. I would have never picked her, but whatever. So that was kind of like the big movies and TV stuff, the big franchises. There was also like an animation panel, and the Marvel was like, hey, we're doing a bunch of stuff. You like X-Men 97? What if we took away all those cool, bright costumes and gave them like the Frank Quitely and Grant Morrison era designs? Would that be cool? The ones similar to the movie, what we don't want anymore because we had that movie where Hugh Jackman got to wear the right suits? Bizarre idea. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is still happening. It's going to exist. There's going to be characters like Doctor Strange and Daredevil and Venom appearing in it. And we got probably the best piece of casting Marvel has done in ages. Coleman Domingo. I love him. He's going to win his Oscar next year. He's going to be Norman Osborn. And I'm like, just live action this shit right now. Put Coleman Domingo in the live action Spider-Man 4. He has to do it. You cannot set that up in animation and then not have that deliver anywhere else. He's the perfect type of intense and like modern day Norman. I love it so much. A really fun idea. He is way more intimidating than Robert Downey Jr. So I hope that becomes something. That Spider-Man cartoon is probably not going to be great, but they're going to make it. So that could be fun. Marvel Zombies, that's still coming out. It's like a 4-episode event, probably because nobody remembered it was happening. Can't imagine it's going to be good. And then we have What If. They announced a couple things for What If. The only thing that really interested me about What If is that there's going to be an episode that features Oscar Isaac returning as Moon Knight, which is about time. It's been 2 years. You've announced nothing with that character. So why should I care? I don't know why I should care. That's kind of it. Again, it's all just not that exciting. Nothing about it was like, finally, this is all like the coolest stuff in the world. I don't know. None of it made me go, finally, this is everything we need to happen. I'm just going to like kind of run through some other lists to see if there's anything worth talking. Oh, Lilo and Stitch. We saw the look at Stitch. So if that matters to you, we got to look at Stitch. Another one where you're like, why are we doing this? Stitch? Really? Okay. Do we need that? Freakier Friday, like we talked about. Oh, Tron Ares, Atticus Ross, and Trent Reznor will be doing the score. But it's going to be Nine Inch Nails is actually doing the score. Not Reznor and Ross themselves. It's Nine Inch Nails, which is cool. That makes me happy. Everything else, I mean, I'm just like, I don't like anything else about that movie. Don't like anything that they announced. Oh, man. It's crazy how you can make a Tron 3 in like this era and completely kill the hype by casting Jared Leto. Ugh. Disgusting. Just a ruinous man who's going to ruin that movie. And who wants to see Tron people go to like the real world? Nobody. That's a stupid idea. Oh, there's also like some Broadway news. Should we talk about the Broadway news? The Greatest Showman is going to be like getting a Broadway thing. I think they're also going to be like streaming the Frozen adaptation. I'm looking at the Disney. I'm looking at D23.com. Is there anything here we should look at? Should we see the Legends? That could be kind of fun here, like the Disney Legends. Colleen Atwood, Angela Bassett, Martha Blanding, James L. Brooks, okay. James Cameron, sure. Jamie Lee Curtis, Miley Cyrus, Steve Ditko, insane. Harrison Ford, Mark Henn, Frank Oz, Kelly Ripa, Joe Rody, and John Williams. Wow. That's crazy. Why Miley? Does Miley work with them still? Crazy. A lot of old men. That's weird. Okay, that was kind of cool. Anything else on this website? Nope. All the sponsors. That's great. And Bob Iger. We don't like Bob Iger. He's a dick. Okay. I think that's everything. Well, IGN's got a list here of like the stuff coming to the parks. Should we just look at it? Let's take a look. Coco is getting its first Disney Parks attraction at Disneyland Adventure, California. Monsters Inc. Oh yeah, the Monsters Inc. roller coaster. They're gonna do that. I forgot. That's kind of cool. I like that. Encanto's getting a ride. A new Indiana Jones ride is coming to Animal Kingdom. An Avengers ride. Oh yes, that King Thanos thing. They're gonna actually do that. So that's kind of cool. Robert Downey Jr. will be returning as Tony Stark for like an Avengers thing. Man, he is short, isn't he? Okay, Cars is getting some stuff. The Lion King is getting its own attraction. That's cool. Whatever, some Mandalorian stuff. Walt Disney will be getting an animatronic. So that's cool. That's cool, right? How long before you think they put like an animatronic Stan Lee and Jim Henson and John Lasseter out at the parks too? Whatever. And I guess if you care, I guess there's like a big Marvel event coming to Fortnite. So there you go. I guess that's kind of it. Not a lot of other exciting stuff. There's like a tavern coming. What is this? A new lounge inspired by Spaceship Earth to open in 2025 at Epcot. Okay, cool. The reimagined test track by Chevrolet. That's kind of cool. Some Hong Kong stuff is happening. That's kind of fun. The cruise ships will do a Hercules play. When I was in Greece, when I was in like high school, the cruise liner did like a production of Hercules on the ship. Is that like a thing that they just do? Whatever. Kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. If this interests you at all, which it might not, and I get that. I don't know. But that's a D23. Was it worth it? Probably not. But hey, you're gonna get Incredibles 3, so it's worth it. I guess. That's all the time we have, folks. A good half hour just to sit back and enjoy the wonders that is Disney raising their prices, but you're going to eat up all the goodies that they give you because you are not a three thinker. And I do this for fun and work, so I have to talk about it. What have I done with my life that this is what I chose to do? Thank you all for watching this episode of the GeekWave. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.